Tracy Townsend and Jay Plyburn here. We are starting with breaking news. We're continuing our coverage of that fire in Pickaway County. It is being called a hazmat situation.
Yeah, go ahead and take a look at this. This is the area we're talking about near State Route 56 West and 5 Points Pike. Authorities say if you're in that area, stay inside. 10 TV's Kara Lake joins us live from that scene. Kara, you've been out there for a couple hours now. What are you learning?
Yeah, now that the sun is up, I can get a better look at what's going on here. And I do want to step aside now to show you exactly what's left of this building. But as you can see, it's still on fire. You can still see smoke in this area. But the good news is that this fire is finally starting to look less intense from when we first got here. Now, the scene is still active, and the latest update I got just came after 6 this morning from the assistant fire chief that's here. And he tells me that crews were called in around 3 this morning and found a storage barn on fire. Now, we have a look at what things look like during that time. And I was told pesticides and other farming chemicals are currently inside, but that crews contain the fire, and we're told that there are no hazardous chemicals in the air, which is being monitored. I was also told there's currently no threat to the public. Now, right now, this is a joint effort with a full hazmat response team that responded at one point. The Pickaway County EMA is here, and Sheriff's Office and fire crews. And I asked them why they're letting this fire continue to burn. Why isn't it out yet? And that assistant fire chief, he told me that they're actually concerned to put water on this because of the runoff, and letting it burn off is the safest option, which is their top priority.
We've got cleanup crews on standby. Like I said, we've got crews here, we've got EMS, and we continue to monitor the area to make sure it is safe.
And we're told that the fire marshal will be here later this morning to determine how this fire started. And when it comes to the fire, we're told that no injuries were reported at this time. Reporting live from Pickaway County, Kara Lake, 10 TV News.
All right, Kara, it certainly does look much different than it did overnight when we started covering that. The roads in the area also changing, beginning to reopen. Authorities do recommend, if it's possible, that you do avoid that area.
Amy Steigerwald is keeping an eye on the traffic trouble spots out there. Amy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Yeah, we are still watching crews obviously at that scene. Thankfully, though, things like you mentioned open in that area as far as roadways go, but you can see we're watching a little bit of a delay here. This is right at State Route 56 and 5 Points Pike, so a little bit west of Circleville, just to give you an idea. And we've got crews there on scene. Delays building onto 316, so just take it slow if you're in that area and commute safely, because crews are going to be there for a little bit this morning. But again, that roadway, that stretch open as of right now. We do want to highlight a crash that we're watching in the same spot that we saw problems yesterday around this time. I-70 westbound just past Hilliard Rome Road. We've got a crash with some lanes closed over there. And as you can see, we've got you clocked going about 10 miles an hour just past Hilliard Rome Road. That delay kind of building a little bit closer to 270 this morning. So if you are heading westbound on I-70 out to the West Jefferson area, anywhere past Hilliard Rome Road, expect to be very slow moving here this morning because of that crash. Let's take a live look at that spot. Bottom left-hand camera is going to show you that, and you can see right now they've got things stopped there as we speak. They've been kind of stopping and going things, opening them as they clear this out. But again, those westbound lanes of I-70, unfortunately, again, posing a problem here this morning. So drivers heading out to West Jefferson, not the worst idea to use 40 instead. As you can see now, they are letting, just one car kind of go at a time. Definitely will start to build as far as delays go, going westbound on I-70 here this morning. Everything else, as we take a look at our big 4 major highway cameras, not looking too bad. 23 up to the north as you're coming in from Delaware County, definitely picking up as it typically does this time of the morning, but no crashes over there. 71 just north of Polaris, not looking too bad. And I-670 right near the airport. We were watching an issue earlier this morning. That has wrapped up, traffic moving just fine. But again, those delays on I-70 westbound, expect to run into those here this morning. Of course, we'll keep an eye on all of this. We'll let you know if anything changes. But we do want to get a check of your forecast with meteorologist Michael Behrens.
And thanks, Amy. One of the things we've been watching this morning with that fire down in Pickaway County is the wind direction. Of course, the smoke coming off of that fire, at least a mild concern. They said they've been keeping an eye on those air quality conditions down there. That smoke would be drifting off to the south and the east. Not very strong winds, so it's not going to be pulling at great distances here this morning. Wind speeds only around 7 miles per hour. That smoke, though, generally sort of drifting in the direction of more central portions of Pickaway County. And of course, we'll be watching that situation develop as we head throughout the rest of the morning. The winds across the region right now hanging around 5 to 10 miles per hour. These will pick up in the next few hours. The forecast here shows wind gusts that could go as high as 20 miles per hour by the midday today and continue there as we head into the afternoon. We're not really looking at a change in direction. This is really going to stay a northwesterly wind blowing that smoke to the southeast. So something to keep in mind if you're down there in Pickaway County today. As far as the temperatures go when you're outside, we're talking 30s this morning, and we've dropped back down a couple of degrees in the last 30 minutes. 37 now here in Columbus, 34 Marysville, 36 in Lancaster. Those temperatures will warm up this afternoon. There will be plenty of sunshine to get out and enjoy, but it's not going to get all that warm. In fact, we're only into about 50 degrees by noon. We will top out later today in the mid to upper 50s, so not a bad afternoon, but the clear skies are kind of a double-edged sword here as we head through this evening and into tonight. We were at 36. The lowest point this morning will be a couple degrees colder by tomorrow morning, down to around the mid to low 30s. That means frost is likely as we head into tomorrow, and the advisory is already in place. This is for Thursday morning. If you got plants outside, cover them before you go to bed tonight, because you're going to need to protect those sensitive flowers or gardens from this cold weather moving in tonight. That's your main impact. Chilly temperatures through tonight and again tomorrow morning. Make sure you grab that jacket before you head out the door. You're going to need it. You'll need it for most of the day today as well. Heading into the weekend, we're tracking a return to rain chances. This comes late Friday through Saturday. Most of the daytime Friday will be dry, but Easter Sunday also tracking at least a small chance for rain. We'll time more of that out coming up here in just a little bit. Guys.
All right, Michael, thank you. We're learning new information about the man accused of shooting someone on I-70. 33-year-old Dwayne Pittman is charged with felonious assault, and this morning the city of Columbus confirms he worked as a subcontractor for the Department of Public Utilities. He is no longer employed there. That shooting happened just before 7 yesterday morning.
And police say the victim called 911 saying they were shot while driving in their car on I-70 near West Mound Street. It caused a major slowdown on the interstate, forcing it to be closed for hours. Columbus police are still investigating the shooting as possible road rage incident. They're encouraging anyone with information to call them or call Crime Stoppers. Pittman is expected in court this morning.
We are also hearing from the victim in this case. He spoke with 10 TV's Bryn Caswell over Zoom from his hospital bed at Grant Medical Center.
Jesse says he's still in disbelief but grateful to be alive. He says what started as a routine morning took a quick turn.
He tried to keep getting in front of me, and I didn't want to let him in front just because I didn't want him being able to stop me and keep shooting. And while I was trying to get away from him, I was on the phone with 911.
And Jesse was released from the hospital and is now back at home. He says he is working with police to retrieve that dash cam video that captured the shooting. You can watch an extended interview with Jesse right now, right here on 10 TV Plus. Download the free 10 TV Plus app on your TV, and you can watch when it's convenient.
City officials are working to address what they say is a significant problem: youth violence. Just 4 days ago, a 14-year-old was shot and killed in South Linden. According to police, Lorenzio Galloway was driving a stolen vehicle when 2 teens shot him. One of those teens had 3 prior cases and a warrant out for his arrest. We spoke with Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther, who says he's doing more to ensure dangerous juveniles are held accountable.
I know the chief has been working with, and I've been working with the juvenile judges to really focus on a small number of young people that are continuing to commit more and more violent crimes, particularly involving guns.
The teens connected to Saturday's shooting currently face murder charges as a judge weighs whether to charge them as adults. They're due back in court next week.
The man charged in the deaths of Johnny Goudreau and his brother will not have his indictment dismissed. Less than 24 hours ago, a New Jersey judge rejected a new argument from Sean Higgins' defense team. They argued that the brothers had been drinking before the deadly crash and that the grand jury did not hear all of the facts before approving charges. Despite the argument, the judge ruled that the indictment is sound.
The court once again finds that it was a clean presentment. The state did not present half-truths to the grand jury. The state presented all relevant evidence.
Higgins is due back in court next month. He faces a maximum of 70 years in prison.
An Ohio State graduate student is taking legal action against the Trump administration. Awar Sultan is one of 12 students at the university to have their visas revoked. The lawsuit alleges the administration targeted Sultan in retaliation for taking part in pro-Palestinian protests on campus last April. Sultan was arrested during one of those protests, but the charges were dropped. We spoke with his attorney after the lawsuit was filed about the message it sends to the federal government.
The First Amendment protections form the very bedrock of this country's democracy. This is a clear case of the government weaponizing immigration enforcement to punish dissidents that they disagree with, and it's clearly un-American and contrary to our country's history.
Nearly 24 states are suing the administration over canceled student visas.
Later tonight, Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther will give his State of the City address. During tonight's address, the mayor is going to highlight community accomplishments, share important updates, and discuss the city's future. Ginther is set to give the address at 6 o'clock this evening at Fort Hays Arts and Academic High School. Whitehall City Council is giving the okay for a controversial housing development to be completed.
Yeah, late last night, council approved a plan for the Fairway Cliffs housing development. As we've told you, the project would see the construction of nearly 50 townhomes on Fairway Boulevard. Each townhome would start at around $365,000, and the project would include a city park. However, controversy surrounds this project due to its 45 years of tax breaks. Those against it say they hope to gain enough support for a referendum on the matter. One city council member says they're ready for whatever happens.
The work is to go ahead and get the required number of signatures on a petition and make sure that that is fully vetted so that we can bring this vote not to the council but to the actual people.
It's absolutely their civic right to do it. And I think to say that, you know, them to use it as a threat like, oh, we should be afraid or nervous. I mean, we will go through that next hurdle when it comes to that.
And we will continue to follow this story and bring you updates once they're available.
It's a crushing development for Chillicothe. A paper mill is closing, meaning roughly 800 people are going to be out of work. Less than 24 hours ago, Pixel Specialty Solutions announced plans to close the 215-year-old mill because of unsustainable financial challenges. In a statement, the president of the Chillicothe-Ross Chamber of Commerce says the mill has been a cornerstone of the Ross County economy. We're told that the mill will close in phases before completely shutting down in the coming weeks. The Reynoldsburg City Council is taking action to help school administrators through some budget cuts.
Yeah, the council voted to pay for the district's school resource officers. As we've reported, the district recently cut more than $8 million from the budget, including more than 50 teaching jobs due to November's failed levy. Council members say they're happy to step in and help keep the schools safe.
I'm glad to see that we were able to work with the school district on keeping this vital resource, seeing what they're going through.
Paying the school resource officers will cost the city around $246,000 each year. If you're an AEP Ohio customer, prepare to start paying more for your electric bill. Starting in June, you'll likely see a $27 increase each month.
The supply of reliable generation is not keeping up with the incredible demand that AEP Ohio and other utilities across the country are seeing, especially from data center customers.
Now, don't forget, there is a way to earn money while saving energy through AEP's Power Rewards program. All you need is a smart thermostat. That way, AEP can send a signal to temporarily adjust your temperature when electricity demand is high. You get a $50 gift card when you sign up and a $25 gift card for participating in at least 75% of the peak demand events during the year. We have a link to enroll in that program right now at 10tv.com/featured links.
We are going to head back out to Pickaway County, where we've been covering breaking news. This is being called a hazardous materials situation, hazmat situation.
Yeah, take a look at your screen. We want to show you the area that we're talking about. It's near State Route 56 West and 5 Points Pike. Authorities there say if you're in that area, stay inside. 10 TV's Kara Lake joins us once again live from the scene. Kara, how's it looking out there now?
So it's still pretty active in this area, but I will say that the good news, now that the sun is up, I can see that there's less smoke and also that fire is starting to die down. Before, when I first got here, those flames, they were reaching out from far above this building. But as you can see now, you can barely see flames from where we're standing. And I actually did get an update from the assistant fire chief here on the scene that came in around 6:50 this morning, and he told me that they were called into this area around 3 this morning, found a storage barn on fire. That's what you currently see that all this smoke is coming from. So this is the scene when we first arrived, and they say inside of this building there are things like pesticides and other farming chemicals, but crews contained the fire, and we're told that there are no hazardous chemicals in the air, which is being monitored. And at this time, I was also told there's currently no threat to the public. But I did ask why they're letting this fire to continue to burn. Where's the water? And they say at this time they're concerned to put water on it because of the runoff.
We have a lot of farm tile that feeds into creeks and other waterways, public sources. The EPA should be arriving right now about 6 o'clock to do the assessment. So they are doing a full assessment of the water. We're in contact with the EMA. They're at the command post with me, as well as other fire chiefs and executive level officers making those decisions. So right now, burning it off, letting it go up into the air is our best action to keep the safety of the public in mind.
And we also learned that there are no injuries being reported at this time. But when it comes to this area, like I said, it's pretty active in this area. So you may want to stay away. They're asking you to stay inside, even though no hazardous chemicals are being reported in the air at this time. Reporting live from Pickaway County, Kiera Lake, 10 TV News.
All right, Kiera, thank you so much. Now, the roads in that area are starting to be reopened because, again, there was a massive response to this. Authorities recommend, though, just avoid it if you can.
Yeah, let's check in with Amy to see how things are looking.
Yeah, this is kind of where we're talking about. State Route 56 at 5 Points Pike. Like you mentioned, that roadway, that intersection is open. But we still got crews on scene, as you could tell from where Kiera was at, and a little bit of a delay building this morning right in that area. So just be careful, be cautious as you commute over there. Give crews the room they need to clear things up. Now here in the metro, we are still watching two other issues this morning. 70 westbound just past Hilliard Rome Road, a spot we did see problems yesterday, unfortunately, once again posing a problem today. Those westbound lanes slow moving. A little bit faster than we were a couple of minutes ago, but still as slow as 26 miles an hour as you pass that Hilliard Rome Road area. Going westbound. Eastbound lanes just fine, but if you're heading out to West Jefferson this morning, watch for delays over there. Also here in the metro, 71 southbound is 670 westbound. We have the left lane blocked over there as well in the downtown area. Taking a look at both of those spots, bottom right-hand camera shows you that downtown crash where things are just a little bit slow on that ramp. We'll keep an eye on all of this, and if there are any updates, we'll let you know. But let's check in with Michael. He's got your forecast.
And through the morning, we've been keeping an eye on the winds down there in Pickaway County to see if any of those smoke conditions, where they could drift. They are going to be pushing off slowly to the south and east. Winds haven't been too strong this morning, only around 7 miles per hour. As that fire starts to be extinguished here, it looks to be decreasing in impact. That's good news because the winds are expected to strengthen as we head through the next several hours. We're about 5 to 10 right now. Those winds would pick up closer to 20 by the midday today, at least for the wind gust, and continue to stay there through the afternoon. Wind direction not really going to change today, mostly going to be from the northwest blowing to the southeast. So keep that in mind if you're out and about central Ohio today. Temperatures, the other thing you got to keep in mind as you head outside, because we are going out into some cold weather this morning. 36 Newark, 35 Delaware, 37 in Columbus. The wind chills drop about 5 degrees off of those air temperatures. So it's going to be a day to grab a jacket as you head out. That'll be despite plenty of sunshine. Sunshine will be around all day long today. Temperatures pushing into the upper 50s as we head to this afternoon. But by tomorrow, the clear skies kind of pull a 180 on us, and they actually hurt our temperatures by tomorrow morning. That's when we see Thursday morning, frost advisories in place for most of central Ohio. Your weather impacts for this morning, really for most of the day and into tomorrow morning. Chilly temperatures. Make sure you grab a jacket before you head out. We're keeping an eye on rain chances that come back as we head into the weekend. That rain Friday will come after midnight, but Saturday looking to be pretty soggy across the region. However, this does come with a warm up. We'll be in the upper 70s by Friday afternoon. Really not going to be a bad start to Easter weekend, and most of Friday will be usable. The weekend itself, though, Saturday especially looking to be rainy, but the temperatures stay near where they should be for this time of the year. As we head into Easter Sunday, that afternoon should be a little bit more dry. Guys.
All right, Michael, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us this morning for our extended coverage.
You can catch the latest information on air and, of course, right here on 10 TV Plus. We'll be back on air at 7:56. Take care, everybody.